Hi, everybody. We are about to hop into our first game of the evening, which I've entitled Three Heads Are Better Than One. And as always, before we get into it, we are going to introduce our characters and our players. So without further ado, first up we have returning a veteran hero here. We have Oldman McWizardface, the Monstrologist McResearcherface. Welcome back, Oldman.
Hello, Pete.
How are you, Oldman?
Oh, I'm just getting ready for the final dive.
The final dive. Why is this the final dive?
Well, we're actually almost finally done. Finally cleaning out Mira's place. There's only one room left. It's the room that we've lost, or many adventurers have gone in and gotten lost, dozens at least.
Not come out on the other side, huh?
Indeed,
Have you like peeked behind the door? Do you have any idea? Have you seen anything of it yet?
it is the shoe closet.
Oh, the shoe. Oh God, Oldman. My prayers are with you. I wish nothing more for than you. And well, I hear Othgar already kind of went in ahead of you and has already started on it.
Oh no, he wouldn't even dare going into
Oh,
there.
okay.
It's going to be me and Mira, and therefore, I don't know, a few weeks, months, so this could take forever.
Indeed. Well, we will have to wait and see how it ends up going. But again, Oldman, I wish you only the best of luck. And
I'm,
this be your last run, your last good run around the joint.
I'm just hoping to get some sunlight before, well, I'm not getting any.
It is a very beautiful day, so you have that going.
In the meantime, Rip the Rude, the Tiger of Terrible Truths, Familiar, Striker McLizardface, all of them are going to be holding down the fort.
Well, I think it couldn't be in better hands. Welcome back, Oldman.
Oh, yes, so I was speaking with you. This is gonna be necessary soon, I'm sure of it.
Very, very well. In that case, let us move on next to Anadoltia. Yes, a good call there, Oldman. Anadoltia Bluebeads, Confectia's Porcelain Princess. Anadoltia, welcome back. How are you today?
Doing quite fine, thank you.
Just out of curiosity, Anadoltia, I can't quite see. What color are your eyes today?
Actually, I think they've been pretty orange for a while, which still bothers me a bit.
Um, yeah, and what does it mean for your eyes to be orange again, Anadoltia?
I honestly have no clue.
Oh, really?
I mean,
This
they've been changing since that Carnival of Souls incident.
and never quite kind of fluctuating, but now they've kind of locked into this one thing. Any kind of has Confectia shed any light on it? Any ideas from her on what this might mean for you?
Well, I mean, I asked about it, and she just shrugged. I mean, it doesn't seem she really knows.
Well, I know things have been going very well with you and Sugar and all of the kids at the orphanage, so maybe it's a good thing.
Maybe, and on the topic of me and Sugar, we're almost done with invitations. We'll probably be sending them out next week.
And invitations. I mean, this could only be for one thing, I would imagine.
Of course,
Yes,
the wedding.
yes, indeed. Congratulations to you. I'm very happy for the two of you. I'm glad that you're going to be able to enjoy that day very soon. Nervous at all?
Say that again.
I said, are you nervous at all?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean it's natural, but those butterflies are probably very much part of the fun of the day and the event. Um, so be
Well, I
careful today.
mean,
We don't want you getting hurt before your big day.
of course, and I really hope those butterflies don't explode.
Me as well. Me as well. Welcome back, Anadolcia.
Thank you.
Next up, we have returning one of the Galanodels, Freddie Galanodel, also known as the Charming. Freddie, how are you?
I am absolutely enamored with that tie, Pete.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
It
The
is
lavender color.
such a beautiful color. I absolutely love it on you.
Well, that's very flattering. Thank you so much, Freddie. I do try and keep my ties as my one kind of accent here as fresh and fashionable as I can. But it makes me feel good to hear you say that.
Yes, let me just say, as a man of fashion myself,
Yes,
I
of course.
greatly appreciate that wonderful tie that you've picked out on this beautiful Friday.
But I mean, Freddie, it compares not. I don't think it could possibly compare to what it is that you're wearing today. Would you mind describing that, Freddie? Uh, what are you dressing in today?
Well, as usual, I have my studded leather armor, which
Mhm.
is, of course, black with rainbow studs,
Mhm.
as usual. Yes. But
Gorgeous.
what you do not see underneath is actually a spandex suit. Very light blue with sparkle.
That is that is an incredible look, Freddie. And it's not one that I think the average adventurer, and by the average, I think any other adventurer in the land of D&D time could pull off. But on you, it looks both dazzling and I would say elegant as well.
Of course it does, but then again, anything looks good on me.
That's true, true. And niceties aside, just how are you today, Freddie? How are you doing?
I'm feeling fantastic, actually. Just
Uh,
ready to go off on my first Fable adventure.
Indeed, indeed. I have no doubt that you shall find success as you usually do. Uh, and with that, Freddie, welcome back. It's good to have you once more. Um, and last but not least, we have oddly a brand new adventurer here in the land of D&D time, but I would say a veteran player. I believe a player of maybe two sessions before, or just the one. We have Lors, the meatiest. Welcome, Lors.
What are you talking about? I've been here for years. It's been a very long time.
You've been here for a long time. I've never seen you. Uh, that's
I've
odd.
been here since episode like 4, maybe 5.
Maybe we just have never crossed paths because I know Jeremy handles a lot of. Jeremy encounters a lot of
Is
characters.
possible.
Yeah. Well,
Jeremy and I
Lors.
very close.
Mm. Lors, would you care to tell us a little bit about yourself? Since we've never been acquainted. I'd like to learn a little bit about you.
Yes, well, as you see, I am a red dragonborn. It is not just blood. I actually have red scale. I wield my great meat cleaver. I use this to slay my enemies. I joined Bartholomew's adventuring company some time ago after my employer, Beefy Jack, put out of business thanks to the meddling of Bartholomew. I'm here to eventually earn his friendship and then exact my revenge when he least expects.
That's a really good way to get yourself kind of closer to Bartholomew for an elaborate revenge plot. Really is
Yes,
to
I
climb up the ranks.
I donate all of my Bartholomew bucks to him, and he liked that a lot. And he very, I think he put it easy.
You must be getting close then with Bartholomew if you're just handing him money. I don't think there's any attribute he admires more in adventure. It's gonna be a tough task, but I wish you only the best of luck in that endeavor, Lors. Am I saying pronouncing your name correctly, Lors?
Yeah, the Lorzi.
Lorzy.
He pronounces Z hard.
Lorzy, yes. Well, Lors, I look forward to seeing what you can do today in the adventuring fields.
Okay.
So, without
I
further
like
ado,
this one.
um, that makes a lot of sense. Without further ado, let us begin. We begin in the town of Easttown. It is bustling, booming, people moving around, walking, going about their various tasks. For those of you who have frequented Easttown in one form or another, it is a very wild place. You can see there are all manner of wizards within this space. Oldman, it's definitely a mecca for research, especially research that is preferred to be kind of kept off the table because there's just not very much, if any, law enforcement in the town of Easttown. You can see the experiments of strange magic. You can see a huge ladder that seems to go up into the clouds and the heavens. You can see animals that are walking around that just appear to be awakened and talking. It's just a very strange place. All the kind of denizens of Easttown seem very busy and are kind of just going about their various tasks. But you are sent there specifically to contact one in particular researcher, a researcher by the name of Viva. She lives here in this town, and apparently she has had some trouble with an experiment that she has recently done and needs some help containing it. Was the word that you got from Bartholomew. So yeah, you're there now, and where we begin, you are on the kind of the precipice of Viva's door, her house. You can see the house kind of towers up. It kind of is built on the first and second floors. It looks like just kind of a house was stacked on top of another house, and the roof taken out on the first one. And then for the second floor house, which is a little bit leaning over to the left, you can see the entire roof. It has this huge hole in it, and you can see some kind of like smoke pouring out from the inside of it. And yeah, that's kind of the scene. You're outside of the building. Would one of you like to go up and knock on the door, or what are the four of you want to do?
Freddie knocks on the door. For descriptive purposes, 2 of his buttons are already undone on his vest.
Fair enough. So Freddie, you go up and kind of rap on the door. You hear it from the other side.
Yes, what is it? Yes, who is there?
I heard you called for an adventurer.
Very good, very good. I did not expect you to arrive so very quickly. This is wonderful news. It'll just be about 5 minutes. And you hear on the other side of the door what sounds like locks beginning to be undone. You hear that kind of signature and the sound of just a really large number of locks being undone on the outside of the door. But you guys are just kind of hanging there for a little bit, and that kind of continues for a time. Anything you do while you're kind of waiting? Any
Oh yeah, you take as much time as you need to get comfortable.
Why are you not made of meat, small thing?
What?
Not you, small one.
What?
Doll.
I believe
No,
you-
not other small one. Not you known. You have
Oh,
little
me.
meat. Yes.
I'm not sure.
Okay, it's a good answer.
So, about this whole plot that you have, I want in with the old man, the other one.
I don't understand what you mean.
Oh, neither do I.
Oh,
Nudge,
did
nudge,
you?
nudge.
Can you believe it? The big voice called me Lord Z. What idiot!
Yes, they'll believe anything. What?
Yes, my name Lors, by the way.
Oh, I'm Oldman. I've never seen you around here.
I've been working here for a long time. Oh look, a door almost unlocked.
And with that, indeed, you see the door kind of creaks open, and you see just kind of a small, looks like a small halfling woman, huge spectacles that kind of move out the side of her head, kind of giving her eyes an odd kind of magnified look to them, kind of leans out and says, good, come in, and kind of waves to you all.
Oh, and look who we
Yes,
have here.
usually when I do house calls for adventurers, usually I work alone, but I can understand if you need more than just
She kind of looks up at you, kind of squinting, and you're realizing that this woman, she probably can't really take in your appearance, Freddie. Perhaps your greatest weapon as an adventurer, useless against this particular individual with just terrible, terrible eyesight. But she looks up at you and kind of smiles and
Ha!
goes,
Foolish Pete, do you not hear the silky smooth sounds of my bardic voice?
that's true. You do have a very beautiful voice. But
Yes,
she kind
your
of,
bard dick really comes through in your voice.
but
Yes, you are exactly correct. We do need more for this particular task, so come in. Good.
And she kind of turns around and goes to let you all in. As you kind of step into the space, it is extremely cluttered, extremely just piled up with trash. You can see papers. It reminds you of Mira's house before it was cleaned, Oldman. There's just things all over the place. You can see various test tubes that are filled with strange kind of creatures that seem to be like moving and kind of just floating in the tubes. Various tanks. You see the classic kind of brain in a jar on one side of the room. A whole bunch of like animal skulls that kind of align the walls. The inside has a very kind of musty, not entirely unpleasant. There's some hints of almost anise to it, but a very strong kind of chemical scent as well over all of it.
Oh, the flashbacks, but there's stuff to draw.
Lords, I don't think that we're here for pornography.
No, this old woman.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
And as you kind of say that, she kind of turns around and she goes,
What was it? Not here for the phonography? No, I've hired you. I can turn it on if you want, though.
and she walks over and goes over to a big kind of old-timey phonograph and puts down the record needle, and you can hear some very kind of dark guitar music begin to play over the phonograph.
Good taste.
How strange. I must be precognizant. I heard this music before it started playing.
Perhaps you are. That is a phenomenon. I've studied it a minimal amount. Can you all actually? Would you mind locking those doors? Looks over at you, Anadoltia. Would you mind just getting the locks?
Sure.
You turn behind you, and you see the door has probably north of 50 or 60 discrete locks on the back of it. All of them are kind of like, some of them are like layered over on top of each other with latches that kind of like swing over, which is an impressive array, but you also see that there's just like windows on the side that don't have any extra protection on them. So maybe a bit misguided, but you go and kind of begin.
Great. So I need you all can keep a secret, right?
Okay. People think it's secret that I even exist, so very strange.
I'll take that as a yes. You are also an academic type. You have the bearing about you.
Looks over at you, Oldman.
Oh, yes, of course. I love drawing. Well, creatures that, let's just say, won't be seen elsewhere.
You're McResearcherface.
Indeed.
Yes. I read your paper on the Tiger of Terrible Truths. Very fascinating things. I tried to get one for myself or make one. It didn't work out. That's what I do here, actually. I make quite a few different things in here. Come join me down in the basement. Let me know when just join us when you're finished locking those locks. That little thing.
Okay. I'm sure I've got done so far.
Yeah, it's you're about halfway through all of the locks at this point as you're just kind of working your way. Another couple minutes.
Would any of you like anything? Can I get you? There's tea. You can make it if you'd like it.
And she turns and just goes and kind of walks down into a basement. Do you all just kind of follow, or?
Ooh, I'm probably gonna need a new pen after this.
Yeah, just
down
follow.
excitedly.
All right. As you move down to the basement, you can begin to hear the sounds of like animals and kind of rattling against bars. And as you move down here, you can see there are just tons of different creatures and cages. A lot of them are very kind of strange in appearance. You see this odd thing that's kind of standing on two legs, but it looks aberrant and just has like one big eye, but a humanoid body. Other than that, you can see just different like animals that looks like they've kind of like, had experiments done on them. You can see one looks like a dog, but it just has like its tail wraps her up and around it like an octopus tentacle almost. And she kind of looks and says,
"Here are some of my works that I've been putting together. I call that Octo Dog. I was hoping to get 8 tails. It didn't work out, but the one does functioning very well. Very good results from that one. So, I put together what is perhaps my greatest achievement just the other day. And allow me to show you. And she walks over. There's a big kind of cage with a huge white sheet over it, which she goes over and kind of rips off. And the cage is empty. And there's just a big kind of hole in the metal on the top kind of flat part of the cage. And you can see that hole kind of leads upwards out the kind of ceiling of the room, and then out eventually the roof of the entire building. This was the cage that I made for it. I'm sorry for the big unveil. It's broken. It escaped. I don't want anyone to know that I made this. I just want you to find what was in here and eliminate it. It was better than I thought it would be.
Oldman is just drawing furiously like, ooh, this is all such an abomination of nature.
Yeah, there's a
How
lot of
they
abominations
taste?
of nature.
Oh, sorry. How they taste? Good, bad.
You can find out if you kill it. I have not eaten it. Now, have you ever eaten a chimera?
No.
You see, the chimera was one of the greatest advancements in the binding and combination of species. It was first done by a very old wizard. His name might have been. It's attributed some to Lemmic, the second most powerful wizard. I don't know if that's actually true. It seems outside of his tastes, regardless of who made it.
I thought it was Edward.
Edward, I'm not familiar with the research, but perhaps, again, I don't think it was really, I really don't think it was actually Lemmic, so you might be right. But regardless, it is like a lion-like body, and then the head of a dragon, and then it has 2 other heads. It has the head of a goat and the head of the lion that it forms the body. And so it has these 2 extra heads grafted onto essentially a lion. An absolute marvel of gene splicing or magical combination of animals.
Now, is that what you actually did with this creature, or did you do another thing?
Well, I love the base idea, and it was innovative, but my thought process was, what if we took another step? So I've made chimeras in my day, plenty of them. I thought, what if I put all of the chimeras into a kind of chimera? And I made what I called the trimera. It was 3 chimeras in 1 chimera, where they combined the torso, so there was 3 torsos, each of them with a chimera on the end of it.
Why would you do
So,
this?
3 dragon heads, 3 goat heads, and 3...
Oh no, all kinds of different things. A fun fact, a chimera doesn't just have to have the 3 traditional heads. Yes, I used a lot of different pieces. And to answer your question, I don't know what you mean. Looking back at you, Lors.
That sounds absolutely terrible and horrifying. I must see it.
Yes, good. That's good. That is a
How
good.
dare you have these abominations of nature for me to continue drawing here?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and make a check?
Would Anadoltia be done with the lock set this time?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. You've been down here for a while. I forgot to mention it. That's my mistake. Oh my god, you've your kind of head is spinning around in drawing. You're moving into almost like just a mode of absolute focus. You're able to hold your conversation, and you've drawn about 5 or 6 miscellaneous things that are down here in perfect, beautiful detail. Anadoltia comes down the stairs, and instinctively you just start like sketching immediately, just because you're in the zone, and then you realize, oh well, that's Anadoltia. But yeah, Anadoltia, you've heard most of this. If there's anything you wanted to ask or say in this moment.
Anadoltia like look at her like queasily and like,
Would this new trimera of yours, it would not happen to have a licorice lynx head, would it?
I'm not familiar with that creature. A liquor slink, you said?
Oh, as long as it's not that, I'm okay.
No, I'm actually very interested. What is a liquor slink?
Liquor Slinks is basically a creature from the Candy Kingdom region. So yeah, I had to deal with one in the past.
I'm going to look into that. The candy might make a good bonding. Well, regardless, please go find the Chimera and end it.
Wait. You want to do this again?
She looks at you.
Yeah,
Okay.
but not with that one. Actually, you know what? If you can capture it alive, I'm not going to offer you any bonus, but if you do, that would be good too.
Oh, as long as I could try.
Alright.
Look at what I could do when things cooperate, or at least, don't
No,
try and
no
kill me.
bonus?
No. Don't really care much one way or the other,
Yeah,
but it would be pretty good.
nope.
All right. Well, why don't you all go, and I will be here, and again, secrecy, mum's the word, say nothing to nobody that I was here and doing the things that I've been doing.
But this is all so terrible and wonderful for drawing.
You're welcome to come back and draw if you keep the secret.
Oh, I already have a girlfriend, don't worry.
I wasn't, but fair enough.
And she kind of like steps back up the stairs and opens the door.
It flew off into the woods. That way, I imagine it leaves a wake.
Very good. Goodbye.
This sounds good.
Goodbye.
And yeah, she undoes all the locks as you guys are stuck there at the foyer for a little while. And it just kind of plays. That guitar music's just kind of playing in the silence as locks click. And
Freddie just leaves through the window.
yeah, she does not notice. She's still just there at the door, kind of opening the locks. Do any of you wait, or do you all just go out the window?
I follow because I have Lady Molly.
Yep. All right, you
Oh,
hop
wait,
up, Buffy, go out the
they
window.
all left. Oh my god, I should probably get upstairs.
I will wait and walk through the window. I'm indoor.
Okay.
Too big to go through the window. I'm very large.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tail gets
and
stuck sometimes.
Freddie-
the door is even a little
Freddie's-
tight. It's a halfling
Freddie's
sized door.
experience with sneaking out of windows.
Indeed. Yeah, you would have had advantage on that check had it required
My
a check.
good, he moved like he covered in lube. Crazy. So slick.
And
That's because he is.
Gross.
yep, you guys make it out the you guys made it out the door, and yeah, you are at the kind of the edge of the forest, and you can see where the tree line at the top, some of like the tops of the taller trees have been kind of like cracked, and some branches have kind of fallen down, where you can see the this thing must have had a bit of a clumsy flight, moving out of the top of the building as it kind of like exploded out. But yeah, this house is right on the edge of the forest. What do you all do?
Well, Anadoltia, Molly, go do your scouting thing. I know how you love trees.
Uh,
I am concerned.
Anadoltia does that.
Wow, she just climbed straight up tree.
I mean,
That's
she,
incredible.
it's less Anadoltia climbing a tree, and more Anadoltia running on Molly as it just walks up.
Blip, 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 blip.
Yeah, it's Anadoltia just kind of like sitting on the dog at a very casual pace. Molly just brings you up the side of the tree, to the top of the tree line. And you guys are about to enter into a skill challenge to see if you are able to track down this Chimera. So, Anadoltia, it seems like for the starters, you're going to make a perception check to see if you're able to just kind of like what you're able to get just cursory glancing around, using the height and the fact that you're able to climb up to the top of it. I'm going to give you advantage on this perception check to see if you're able to find any other kind of big visible signs of the creature.
All right, could I use either mine or Lady Molly's?
Yeah, I'll let you pick either one. I think that's fine.
I'll use Lady Molly's because hers is actually a
Has
bit better.
a higher perception than you. That's funny. Yeah, absolutely. But you have advantage. Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
unfortunately not. So you have one failure so far. You're looking around. You're seeing, like, right in the area where you are, you can see at some of the treetops, there are bits that are broken off, but it looks like it kind of like maybe ducked down in its flight right here at the precipice of the woods, took off some sticks, and then maybe caught itself a little bit because there's not quite as many immediate signs right at the top. So yeah, for your first one, you don't have too much, but you have like at least a general direction to start moving in as you're kind of leading the way forward in the forest.
Yeah,
What other?
I just imagine like Lady Molly like starting to look, and then she just sees some sap on the tree and starts licking.
That is strange. Mud dogs lick tree. I have plans. Small gnome, old man.
Yes.
Why are you not called old gnome?
Oh, my father named me Oldman. I guess he had a lot of confidence in my ability to survive until now.
Was he a gnome?
Indeed, he was.
Very strange. Mother man? No, wait, no, mother cannot be. Anyway, I have plan. You can talk to small animal, correct?
Well, I can communicate a little bit.
Good.
Ask
I
around.
have plan here. Climb on back.
Okay.
The ridges should make easy to hold.
Oh, I've done this before. Wait, what are you here?
All right. Any Dolsha up in tree. You see any birds? Bird nest, perhaps?
Yeah, Anadoltia, looking around, you can see a bird nest not too far from where you are. What bird would you like to locate? Because there are a lot of them in this forest.
I mean, I want to find like eagle or something, but hopefully
Well,
we find something.
Anadoltia, what do you see? And you look at the top because you see there's a lot of birds. So you can pick any type of bird in this forest, as there's a very wide range of fauna.
All right, Anadoltia.
Anadoltia probably look around like at the birds, and she'll probably choose a grackle.
All right, you see a nest of grackles over on one of the tree that points out down to you, Force.
All right, I want to climb tree to birds.
All right, yeah, you climb up without too much difficulty. You have Oldman on your you're carrying Oldman up as well.
Yes, Oldman on back.
All right, yeah, you do so. You get up to the bird. The birds are definitely used to some odd behavior, but I mean, instinctively, they kind of fly up out of the nest and like a couple branches away, looking at you curiously, but not completely flying away.
Any eggs in nest?
Yeah, absolutely. There's two eggs in the nest at the moment. The two kind of grackles that are in here, one of them looks very young. One of them looks, like a full adult bird. And as you're kind of looking at the eggs, you hear one of the grackle kind of just go, grackle, because I'm assuming that's what a grackle sounds. They're like Pokemon, right? Grackle.
All right, old man. And I'm gonna take out, clumsily wielding my great butcher cleaver, and I'm gonna say, all right, you old man, you tell them that if they not tell us where Chimera go, eggs get it.
Oh, I can do that.
Can I roll intimidation check and maybe Old Man help me?
I think absolutely. I was going to say Oldman rolls it and he has advantage.
Yeah, work either way.
But it's an intimidation check from one of you with advantage. I'll let you guys pick. I assume you're casting Speak with Animals, Oldman?
Indeed. Well,
he can talk to small creature already from being gnome.
Oh yes, of course. You're a forest gnome. What do you do to talk to these grackles? The grackles are looking at you. See, their feathers are tufting up in the back.
Well, I put my hand to my forehead as if I'm searching around. I go, roar, and I put my head next to his head. And I like point at the two heads. And then I point at the eggs and at the eggs.
Yeah,
I'm going to eat them if you don't tell me.
One of you, whoever would like to make an intimidation check with advantage.
Please. If you'd like, it is on you.
Okay.
Unless you want me to, I don't care.
11.
Too bad.
All right. Yeah,
Not
that's
too
enough.
good either.
The grackle just kind of responds to you, and it goes and kind of flies down over the eggs and is kind of like waving the wings in front as if to signal you off. And with those words, the grackle's like, yeah, anything you want to know. The big thing, yeah, that way. And it kind of points you. It apparently ate this grackle's husband as well, so it doesn't have a lot of bad feelings about telling you where it is if you're wielding that big axe around.
Okay, now we go down and we don't eat the eggs we had to promise you.
Why?
Lors?
I was going to make omelet.
Lors?
Wait. I think we have easy solution here because we are at impasse. Beautiful Freddie Galanodel.
What?
Can you help? We have impasse here. Oldman tell me I cannot eat eggs.
No, see, there's two things to this whole problem. You physically can eat the eggs. Nothing is
That's what I
stopping you
think.
from eating these eggs except for your word. How much do you hold your word as valuable?
I mean, I didn't say it. I did say it. I was going to say that he said it. Okay, fine. Okay, you win. Guilty.
We can get you other eggs, Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that tree over there. They didn't make a promise to you.
And so, Lors, if you wish, you can collect some different eggs. You leave the grackle eggs be. However, you now have one success and one failure. Yeah, your goal is to, for the record, best 3 out of 5. Get 3 successes before 3 failures. So you're getting there.
Beautiful Freddie Galanodel. Do you have any skill to help us find the chimera?
I'm actually quite intrigued by these birds. They actually give me an idea. And I'm going to cast Enhance Ability. And I'm going to use the owl's wisdom to give me advantage on my wisdom checks, allowing me to perceive better.
Someone has already used perception in this round.
Survival better.
But survival you can do. No one has survived yet. You're kind of following along the you're kind of following along the tracks as best you can, and you definitely sent in the right direction by that last bird. You're getting closer to the right. You're getting closer to the kind of right path. But as you're looking at just tracks and things, you're realizing the Chimera. The paws are so strange in the one place where you notice them. You don't really know what you're looking for, and you just end up following what you think is just like a bear for a while, and then realize that you've gotten a little bit off course. You guys have 2 failures and 1 success.
These birds do give me an idea.
Okay,
Freddie,
I have backup plan too if necessary.
Freddie, you're a bard. You like singing. Maybe you can respond to your songs, similar to bird calls.
I will sing the song of the Chimera. Remind me how that goes real quick.
Well, you need 3 different instruments.
I think basically, okay, and Anadoltia, you come here, Oldman, you come here. We will be the example Chimera, and what we'll do is we'll all sing at the same time, and that must be it, because 3.
I take out my horn, my flute, and my lyre.
Oh, that's way
And
smarter.
I'm going to try to play the Song of the Chimera, which has never been performed by any bards currently alive in DnDTime.
Okay, this is a wild way of trying to attract the Chimera. I love it. And because you have this strategy, I am going to let you try this, but it is going to be a disadvantage.
But what if the three of them try to sing along to the song of the
Yeah,
Chimera?
that's like the necessary components to make the site. You have the ingredients that have allowed you to even attempt this.
Very well.
Oh,
I'm going to
I do
use
have a
my last second level spell slot to also do another bird with that enhance ability. Eagle's Splendor.
Oh
I have
god, burning a lot of
advantage on
spells.
charisma.
Alright, in that case, you can make a flat performance check.
Let's do it. Let's
of-
get this Chimera.
Hey!
Bam.
Good thing, too.
It is beautiful.
Oh, I've never thought I'd hear a chimera and cry.
Your critical, yeah, I guess that's an extra syllable in there, critical. Your critical success is worth 2 successes. So in this instance, what you didn't realize is that maybe when you were tracking, you were a little bit closer to the right track, because off in kind of some hills over to your right, you kind of can see what looks like a low sort of cave formation, and you begin to hear as you're just calling out. What does it sound like? What does the song of the Chimera sound like? What are you guys singing? The 3 of you that are singing.
Well, technically, it's all of us, so it's the
Three
song of the
heads are better
Chimera.
than one. It is easy, but it's oh so true. 3 heads are better than one. It makes things easier to do.
Freddie, I'm giving you a point of inspiration for that wonderful song, to be
Thank you.
used only until the end of this session.
Per
And you see kind of emerging out of the cave, you hear kind of a strange series of noises. You hear kind of you hear a roar, you hear a few different growls, you hear kind of you hear just like a wide range of roars and growls. You could hear some like these terrible noises all coming out of the same spot as what looks like 3 chimeras step out of a cave over in the distance, and their heads all kind of like turn in your direction, and go to kind of look at where the song of the chimera is coming from, and they begin moving. They begin kind of moving towards you amidst the trees and the woods, pretty like almost passively, as they're just very interested in who is singing the song of their people, as this Chimera is moving towards you, and it's approaching. Right now, it was like maybe 300 feet away, and it's walking closer to you. You can see the dragon wings are kind of on either side, and now that you see it, its body, like I said, it just has 2 sets of hind legs that are very big and large, and the rest of it is just 4 legs. And the 9 creatures that you see on this chimera, you see what looks like a behir head, you see a tiger head, and you see a cow head on one side. You see a traditional chimera in the middle with your lion, dragon, with your lion, dragon, and goat in the center. And then to the right of that, you see what looks like a bear, kind of like a bear body with a big pig kind of boar head, and then an ankeg head, this like terrible, awful-looking ant creature, and it's shambling towards you, moving very like its body is not really optimized for walking or movement in general, and it kind of has to like awkwardly shuffle its way around trees to move through the forest, but it's going towards you. What do you all do?
So it's 300 feet away, right?
Yeah.
So we have like a minute to prepare.
I'm gonna try to continue singing the song of the Chimera, and I'm gonna try to, I don't know if this is a persuasion or performance, but like I'm trying to be all buddy-buddy with it. I'm trying to kind of tame the Chimera. I'm gonna take a leaflet out of my big sister's book, Switch, and try to mount that Banderhob. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't even need to roll for that. It's already like kind of moving towards you. This is you know that this is an inherently, like the chimera, it's an inherently like volatile and angry creature, but the song of the chimera, which you're already going on, it's moving towards you like without a lot of aggression at the moment.
I know Anadoltia will probably just she's probably gonna be doing like she's watching it, preparing to be like start dodging on the back of Lady Molly, but at the same time, she's like bringing out her crossbow.
All right. You're taking the dodge action and readying, or I assume you're readying your action to attack at any sign that you need to.
Yeah.
All right. What about Lors and Oldman?
What is that?
Fair
That's
enough.
the Chimera.
Is that that chimera? Okay. What are you all doing?
I'm gonna say in Sylvan, hey buddy, you
I thought we
want to
supposed
be
to
friends?
kill.
I'm doing what I do best.
You're gonna just draw it while you're getting closer.
Oh God, I'm
Oldman,
not doing what I do
you have a whole minute. You can make
Oh.
3.
It better.
Oh
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. You're getting a pretty good sketch of this thing as it kind of wanders and ambles towards you. It is one of the most intricate things you've ever had to draw. There's just so much going on this creature. But yeah, you got a picture that's it's not perfect, but it's pretty solid.
Hey, Lois, what's your plan for this thing?
I was going to run toward it and hit it with my cleaver.
Oh, well then. Have fun then.
All right, you cast haste on it. At this point, the Chimera, if there's a time before this point that you would like to do something, you guys let me know. But at this point, it's like 60 feet away. You see it's kind of like just kind of shaking its head up and down, listening to the song of the Chimera. Some of its necks get in like the way of a tree where it's just too thin because its body is very it very fans out in a way. It's very fan-like in the way it's designed.
I wanted to see if it speaks Common, Elven, Sylvan, any of those.
Yeah, you throw out some languages. It's letting out the occasional, or or any kind of miscellaneous sound that it seems to make, but you're not getting anything that feels like a response. It seems pretty. It doesn't seem to have a ton of sentience.
All right, so I'm guessing like since we're about 60 feet away, I'm gonna have like Anadoltia and Lady Molly just climb up a nearby tree that's pretty much behind the party.
Okay, you go up and just get onto a nearby tree, maybe like 20 feet back or so. You find a nice kind of solid one to get behind, and you and Lady Molly are just chilling there on the side of the tree with that spider climb sticky puppy. And just for the sake of it, you guys essentially have because you've kind of gotten the jump on it and have kind of lulled it into a false sense of security with this song. You guys have kind of the advantage or the initiative here if you want to do anything. Otherwise, it's just kind of stops at about that place and is just kind of continuing to listening to Freddie, who you're working overtime right now, Freddie, trying to play 3 instruments at once.
Yeah, man.
But
Lois, how about
doing
you
good
drop
work.
down from that tree there onto its head with your cleaver out and start bashing it in? And
I am down here hiding in bush. Should I go? Wait, did you cast haste on me?
yes.
Oh shit! Ah! I
All
uncorked it.
right. Go ahead and roll for initiative, but you guys get a surprise round on it. It's not so much surprised as it is confused. Betrayed, perhaps. Boop. The Chimera rolls a 17. All right, the Chimera is first, but you guys are all first. Freddie, you see your ally begin to go up and start charging it with a giant cleaver. Kind of stumbles a little bit getting out of the bush, so it might take a second, but you can tell things are about to kick off. What do you do, Freddie?
He's not moving fast enough, so we're just gonna make him move.
I assume you're going to use that reaction to do that thing?
I don't know what it does, but okay.
You move your full 30 feet movement if you have 30 feet as a everyone also gets 5 temporary hit points.
Yeah,
so everyone has a chance to move basically at the start of combat.
You move your extra 60 feet.
Oh, that's true. How close am I to the thing? I ran 180 feet now.
You were like 10 feet away, hiding in a bush. So
Oh,
you're
wow,
definitely
I'm very close. I run
Yeah.
around in circles.
Yeah, you can just do laps around it if
Doing
you would
that.
like to do so.
Absolutely.
All right, you do
Confuse
that.
it.
You still have an action. Anything else you'd like to do with your action?
Yeah. As an action, I'm going to be following my hasted friend, but with a rope. So I'm going to use my item interaction to tie a rope to the nearby tree, and then run around this thing with my rope.
Okay. You can't target. Can you target yourself with your move thing?
Choose a
can
number
see-
of creatures you can see, and that you can
that can see you.
within
number.
60 feet.
I think it is implied that you do not.
I mean, I still have my normal movement, though.
Yeah. So okay, so you go
And
over
I'm not-
and tie it to a tree.
I'm not targeting myself because I can only target 3 people.
All right. This was the point where it's about 60 feet away. So you.
Okay.
So that's what I was kind of getting at. Is you
Sure.
run with the rope. So you have the rope tied around the tree, and you're kind of running up to it.
But I couldn't have like action dashed on top of my normal.
Well, the action would be to tie the rope around the tree.
Okay.
Do
So
you
yeah,
want to run
I'm-
up 30 feet and then tie it up to a tree that's like 30 feet forward
Yeah.
and not one way back? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll have the rope out. So if anyone wants to item interaction, grab it, then use their movement to run around it. Might do something.
Very well. You begin this odd hog tie strat, which I'm very much here for. All right, that's going to bring us next into initiative to Anadoltia. You see things begin kicking off. What do you do?
All right, I'm pretty much going to start off with a familiar tactic that I use on that disturbing doll Hydra thing. Casting darkness on a arrow or a bolt of my crossbow.
Really?
Okay. I don't know if you can target an object. I don't think
Actually, you can. It's very interesting. I didn't know that either, but it's true.
Actually, that's the only thing you can target.
Just a point. I mean, okay, sure, yeah. That's fine. So you're gonna put this darkness spell on an arrow. So you watch as Anadoltia, from where Anadoltia is all of a sudden it's just the area around that tree is filled with darkness.
Which I can still see out of.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will be my turn.
All right, cool. So yeah, you have this kind of big area of darkness. That's gonna bring us then. I think it was Oldman next.
Ooh, this is such a strange thing. I've already drawn it.
Yeah, this is a rare opportunity.
I actually don't know what I'm gonna do. Laws, what am I gonna do?
I don't know.
I'll grab the rope from Freddie.
All right, fair enough. Well, I assume you're running up to where Freddie is. So 30 feet to get to Freddie is move. Do you want to use your action? I'll say you can just take the action, take the rope. That's no
I
problem.
could have gone to him during my bonus movement earlier.
Oh no, this just happened. He's like just running over there with a rope now. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
But you're up and you have it. You have the rope in hand, and you still have an action.
Can I throw it and try to get it around something that Loris is carrying?
It's not going to be necessarily easy, but go ahead and make me a. I'll let you say that this can be an athletics or acrobatics. I'll let you pick. Acrobatics for accuracy or athletics for.
For perspective, Lors is pretty much completely naked, red dragonborn, wearing a bloody apron and carrying a cleaver that is tied to the end of a long pole.
Oh God!
Yeah, Oldman, you go and toss the rope. You see it just kind of like basically. I mean, the rope's farther forward now. You see it just kind of rubs Lars in the back a little bit and just falls on the ground over behind where he is. I called you Lars, but you're Lors. You still have a bonus action if there's anything else you'd like to do, Oldman.
Oh, I'm gonna nurse my back. I think I threw it out.
Fair enough. Oldman, you kind of lean over and do the classic put hand on lower back pose. As we
My
move,
mattress is too firm at home.
as we move now to Lors.
Ah, yes, that's me. All right, Lors will enter into a rage and run forward and go, ah! And swing his great cleaver.
Recklessly, it sounds like, with that noise.
Yeah, absolutely. I only attack her. Actually, how many heads does this thing have?
It does have 9 heads.
Well, I only have 13 armor class. Recklessly attack. All right, 22 to hit.
That is absolutely going to hit for 12 points.
14.
Oh, wait,
I have
14
+2 for
points.
rage.
Nice roll, also.
Always a
And
good roll with Lors.
what?
That's all I
What?
got.
Just out of curiosity, what level is Lors? Is that your only attack?
Lors
Given?
level 4.
Oh, darn.
Unless we make Lors level 5, in which case he has second attack now, the only difference.
I don't know how long Lors has adventured.
Yeah, Lord is only level 4. He's
All
kind of
right,
push
fair.
over.
Fair enough.
He's also hasted and has a second attack.
Oh,
that's true.
haste attack, very true. Let's attack with a great cleaver. 13.
All right, yeah, 13 is just going to miss, unfortunately. Just barely misses. The
Damn.
second one comes down and leaves a huge cut in the snow. This one, which head are you going after? Just out of curiosity.
What heads do I see again?
There is left to right. You see a Bahir, a tiger.
Whoa, what? Back here?
Yep, a Bahir.
I'm going for that one. Just,
All right.
I don't need to hear anything else. I'm going for the lightning one.
All right, you do that.
I don't know if that does, but it looks like salamander, so I hate salamander. Bad meat.
But you are a lizard.
All right, so you deal 14 damage to that particular head, and the Bahir kind of lets out a as it rears back, and you see lightning charging up its throat in anger as it now moves on to the Trimera's first turn. The Trimera looks down at you, lets out just this unearthly 9-voiced wail, and rears back in anger and the sudden betrayal after hearing the song of its people. It's going to go after first. It's going to go after you first with advantage, Lors, as it's going to try and bite you. The tiger head goes to bite you.
That is going to hit me, no problem.
On the other side, the cow head is gonna try and ram into you. It's just a ram.
Don't forget they have advantage.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's fine. They got you for 22. I assume these are both halved.
Yes.
And then the Bahir head, kind of. I need you to make a dex save.
I do this very well. You know,
This
I
is
have
definitely
danger
a-
sense, so I have advantage.
Yeah, it's definitely a source you can see.
Critical.
Yeah, you completely duck out of the way of. Oh my god.
Shit.
That was an
All right.
extremely good roll. Also, it
It was,
recharged.
Still 16 points of damage, huh?
Yeah.
I think that would have one shot.
Oh wait, Lors is looking pretty bad.
All right. And then you see the other heads as the Trimera goes after you with the 3 heads. You can see its body is like rearing forwards and into you as its claws are kind of like dragging on the ground. And you see the other parts of the Trimera are trying to like instinctively go off and do their other things. And its movement just kind of gets bedraggled and it gets stuck in place. So the 2 heads, one of them is actually not close enough to you and Freddie because you're 30 feet out. You see the dragon head just kind of lamely breathes fire outwards in front, trying to get at you guys, but it doesn't go far enough as it's kind of stuck in place. And then the Onkeg head is going to shoot at you, Oldman. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. So that's going to be 14 points of acid damage you take as the Onkeg head shoots this terrible kind of projectile spittle in your direction. And that also recharges, geez. Actually, no, the Onkeg one does not recharge. And I got to check and see if the fire breath recharges. It does not. And yeah, Oldman, you take 14 points of acid damage, and you can see like the various heads are just kind of like snapping in place. But the group of 3 that's in front of Lors doesn't want to leave in front of where Lors is. And that is all for the Trimera's turn. That's all for the Trimera's first turn. That's going to bring us to the top of the initiative, which I believe was Anadoltia. Oh wait, no, it was Freddie.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna run to behind Lors. I'm gonna put my arms around him and say, "Don't worry, you've got this." And I'm going to slip him a drink and say, "Here, just take it into your mouth." Put a healing potion.
You are
Lors.
a beautiful man. Thank you. I kiss him on mouth.
I kiss him back, and with that kiss, he gets another 5.
Oh, beautiful.
You
Then,
gain 14 points of healing. You're feeling much more powerful.
Don't forget that you had 5 temporary hit points as well, Lors.
I already accounted for that. Lors is looking much better now.
Oh, also, geez, Shiva, you need to make a concentration check.
Good.
That's a very big deal.
Very bad. This is
Oh!
very bad.
Oh no!
In place.
That is going to then bring us. I'm sorry. Was there anything else on your turn? Oh, that's healing word, and so yeah, you use your move. That's I guess the type of thing.
Yeah.
Now it is Anadoltia.
Anadoltia fires an arrow towards like what she could best be described as the center of the chimera.
Fair enough. Go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage because you're firing from darkness. I assume you're not firing your darkness arrow.
I'm assuming I am firing that darkness arrow.
Oh, okay. So you had advantage because that was coming from darkness. So the 23 does hit, and then the darkness lands on him. You guys are just suddenly immersed in darkness as what looks like just a death ball of just black flies towards.
It has a radius
That's a wild look.
Yeah, it has a radius of 15 feet.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
actually
So
probably really good because we have a
Very good.
lethargic. We have
Yeah.
a lethargic barbarian right now.
yep. No, that's definitely
Absolutely
good-
incredible.
it's definitely a good situation for you guys to be in. Yeah, you're in complete darkness now as the arrow sticks into sticks and hits into the chimera.
And then Anadoltia will probably like get Molly to like go down the tree and just around to the edge and get ready for something else.
Okay. In that case, that's going to bring us to Oldman. There's just a circle of darkness where everything was that Anadoltia fired.
Well, let me read
You
this
hear a lot of
real quick.
sounds coming from it.
A lot of kissing noises.
Yep. No, I think you saw that before that. You saw them make out.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. It's just a point you choose. You don't need to see it.
Yeah, you just remember where it was. That's all good. And so, 17. Nothing. I got to roll. Just deal 17 points of damage to the Trimera, which lets out a terrible and also kind of a noise as you hit it for 17 points of slashing damage. Anything else on your turn?
Well, I can't really see anything or do anything, so no.
Fair enough. Lors, you are unfortunately stunned until the end of your round.
Yes, I'm not stunned. It's
Or,
slightly different, but I don't think I can do anything.
Or you might just be unable to take action.
Yes,
Make it,
I am
move or
unable
something.
to move or take action. So yes,
Okay.
I do nothing.
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us to the Trimera, who is attacking in magical darkness against you. But also, you guys are in darkness, so it's just a flat roll. And it's going to go after first you. It's going to send the lightning breath at you again because it did recharge that Lors,
My God.
which you actually also don't have advantage this
Wait,
time,
how
unfortunately.
is it going more than once before my turn?
That was just your turn because you couldn't take action.
Oh right, yeah, you're right. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. So I don't get danger sense because I don't see it. So
Yeah.
regular roll. All right.
Hey,
good.
you take 9 points of lightning damage. Nice.
Ow.
And then it's also going to try and bite you and hit you with its cow moo horns. 10 misses, I assume?
10 misses indeed.
And 11?
11 also missed.
Nice! Yeah, in the darkness, you can just hear and the tiger goes to, like, chomp onto you, but absolutely nothing. They're just blind, fumbling around in the dark. Maybe thrown off by you falling over or something from that kind of momentary stun. But, Freddie, you are also up in the mix now. They can only, which means that the second grouping, which includes the dragon head, can go after you. The dragon head doesn't have fire breath, but I just want to roll to see if it recharges this turn, which it does not. Great.
Shit.
So the
Good thing it did not have that.
the dragon one's pretty good. The dragon head is going to go bite at you, Freddie. Oh, jeez.
I think that might hit.
Yeah. The lion head's going to bite at you.
It's a disadvantage, you can't see.
Wait, I'm sorry. It can only attack with. It can only do one bite at a time, so it can't. It's not It's at regular because Freddy's also in the darkness. So he can't
Freddy
see the
is
attack.
blind.
That 20 was incorrect. That shouldn't have been it. It should have been this 13. Does 13 hit?
No, 13 does not hit.
All right, so you take 14 points of damage as it goes after you with all of its moves. The Onkeg's going to try and recharge, and does, but that's that whole side of its body's turn, because they have to be next to each other. And that's all for the Chimera's turn. That's bringing us around the top of the initiative. Freddie, you're in darkness. There's bites. There's kisses. It's wild right now. What do you do?
Yep. Since I can still feel their face, I'm gonna shove another potion in that hole.
Fair enough. You take another 7 points of healing, Lars.
You
Nectar of the
beautiful
gods.
man.
Since I know where they are, can I enthralling performance my way out?
Enthralling performance takes a minute, doesn't it?
Or not enthrall. Mantle of Inspiration.
Does that movement provoke opportunity attacks?
It can't take opportunity attacks. It can't see you.
Then yeah, you're good.
Okay, then Lors, add your 5 temporary hit points back. I get 5 temporary hit points. I'm not targeting anyone else because I can't see them. And
You're a heal machine.
yeah, charming Galanodel is the healer of the Galanodels. And I'm gonna peace out. Bye.
All right, you step out.
I will run to the back.
All right, you all have now stepped out of the
Bumbling my way
darkness.
around. No, I'm still in darkness.
Oh, you're just moving around to the back side of the guy.
Yes.
All right, that's going to, in that case, be all for your turn, I assume, Freddie. Pretty good turn.
Yep.
Anadoltia.
Alright, Anadoltia is pretty much going to be doing a help action by, like, telling everyone where the Chimera heads are aiming and whatnot. Because she can see through that darkness. She's pretty much acting she's pretty much acting as a alarm system for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. That's pretty cool. All right, so you take the help action as you're kind of calling out its positioning, which means that the next person to make a check against it will have advantage on that check. Do you want to do anything else on your turn, Anadoltia?
I think since that's an action, there's not really much else I could do. So.
Very well, fair enough. Anadoltia, just the general up at the top of the battlefield here. Got it in 2 almost. That's gonna bring us next in initiative to Oldman. Oldman, what do you want to do?
Well, let's pump it full of more damage.
Those do resolve technically at the start of its turn, right?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, but that's fine. You can just do it now because it'll just take it at the start of its turn anyway. Okay, yeah, so you already did it. 20 points of slashing damage as the daggers continue to whirl within the space. You can hear they're landing a lot of meaty blows. It's definitely starting to look like it's it's not in incredible shape. It seems to be surprisingly fragile just because of the terrible nature of its form. You can see like some stitches and stuff that are getting cut up, and its bodies are almost starting to like pull apart in places.
No, I can't.
That's true. You could see that before the darkness happened. Anything else on your turn?
I'm going to be firing into the darkness. Literally firing.
Yes. So you would have disadvantage, but you have advantage because of the.
That was the wrong button.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have disadvantage because you had the help action from Anadoltia, who just used the help action on it. So. Oh wait. Oh, these are. I thought this was just firebolts. All right. I think that the second two have disadvantage. From the help action, I don't know if you get it to all of them, but definitely roll damage on all the first one anyway, because that 26 definitely hits. For 8 points of fire damage. And Jeremy, can you confirm on that one? I'm pretty sure it's disadvantage on the second two.
They're both unseen. He can't be seen by the Chimera, and the Chimera doesn't.
Oh, that's a great point. So the first one should have actually had advantage then. So go ahead and roll another one for safety crit. Crit fish. Yep, then roll damage on all. Those fog clouds and magical darknesses are so goofy in the way they interact.
They are goofy.
19 points of additional fire damage. Nice. You just are pouring fire into the darkness, and you hear the reports as it strikes onto the Chimera's body. And yeah, it's definitely getting pretty beat up. And I assume that is all for your turn.
Yes.
Very good. Lors, you are no longer in a state of confusion and exhaustion.
I feel invigorated by the beauty of Freddie Galanodel.
Indeed.
Okay, question. This is more of a rules question. I assume a cone effect would only affect the creature once, despite its multiple heads?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I have one ability. Let's make it... I'll just swing with my cleaver, I guess. Not much else to do.
Recklessly?
Absolutely recklessly. Every time... Die thing!
Oh
Shit
no!
again!
13 is
13. I rolled very well,
Hey,
though.
your damage has been super high, but the 13's not going to quite do it.
And now I will run out the back.
All right. And with there being no one kind of in range anymore, then as it moves onto the creature's turn, it takes the dagger damage, which it already counted for, and you hear the kind of wings kind of beat into the air, and it's going to fly up out of the darkness. And
no, the darkness is casted on a bolt that I struck it into.
Yeah, but it's not like stuck into the creature's body. It didn't necessarily click it. It hit, but it kind of like rolls off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as it's going up, and the creature kind of begins kind of flying upwards and out of the darkness, which is now reached this point, and it kind of looks around all the heads. It kind of like spins into space. It seems to be pulling itself in different directions.
Is there an opportunity attack as it flies away?
No, because it can't be seen as it's flying out of the darkness, unfortunately. Because once it's like out the top, it's out of the range of the thing, because it's 15 feet up. And it is going to look around and use its acid spit upon first. Who is it going to pick? Because it's going to do this just randomly. One of you guys that's close, not Anadoltia, way up into the tree. Yeah, I think that's fair. Go ahead and roll a dex save. You can see the source now, so you're at advantage again.
Excellent. I'm very dex.
Oh, and it recharges.
Oh shit, that's good.
You only take half damage, only 5 points of acid damage as it goes at you. And since you're yelling, it's going to fly forward and it's gonna go cow first. Just go after you with its cow horns.
Oh shit! It has advantage.
Oh yeah, because they're reckless. But and then it's gonna go in after and bite you with its tiger head.
Okay.
You still up?
So,
That's
how much damage it do?
A total of 17.
Which
is then half.
Yeah, okay, so it's gonna be 8 total.
Yeah, 8 total.
I'm not bloodied yet, bro.
Oh damn! Nice.
Dude, he's a healing machine.
That's true. There's been a lot of heals. The consumable heals are surprisingly powerful. And then other heads, there's no one else around to go after, so the other heads do nothing except to try and recharge. Which
do they stay on the ground level?
What they do? Yeah, they land back down on the ground level. And that's all for the Trimare's turn.
So it's only like 5 feet away from where it was previously.
Yeah, it just moved up and out to where you were out of the darkness, saw you, and then landed back down.
Okay. So it's in the dark. So it's out of the darkness.
Yep, it's just out of the darkness now.
Okay.
And that, like I said, that's all for its turn. So that's going to bring us around to the top, which is Freddie.
Yeah, Loris looks like he needs more of that good touch, you know.
How do you have more? Ugh.
And then I'm gonna drink my own.
Nice. You heal for 12. You're back up next to Loris.
No, I'm healing Loris for 5.
Oh, you're fine. Yes,
myself
the
for
grand
7.
total of 12 healing was done this round. And anything else on your turn?
Ah, crap.
I guess I'll cling to Loris dramatically for a second
Alright.
and then say, "Oh wait, you're swinging." And
All right,
I
you
will
do.
move that arm.
You have this dramatic moment, and then it's gonna move over to Anadoltia. It's out of the darkness now. If you want to break concentration on that.
I am, and in addition to that, Anadoltia will pull out the Windsor's sea ring, kiss it, and cast a spell, Scatter. Scatter, but with a C.
Third level
Spell?
Third level scatter. All right. Where are you just throwing this scatter?
That's an actual spell.
Yeah, it is a spell. It's just like a third level iteration of the spell, which I'm going to assume.
I did not know Scatter was a spell.
Yeah, it's a real spell.
In that case, can I just since I can't make a real spell with Windsor's ring, and I did not know it was a real spell, can I instead change that to Chatter?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can. All right, I'm gonna have him make. I'm gonna have him make an intelligence saving throw against Chatter, or actually, this is probably a wisdom saving throw. 18. All right. That 26 thunder damage, that is going to deal half of that damage as psychic damage. That's going to be 13 points of psychic damage. As you hear instantly, all of the heads begin to just go, all of them begin to just kind of like babble incoherently for a moment, and then all of them shake in unison, as whatever the full effect of this is going to be isn't entirely realized, but you do a bunch of psychic damage to the creature. I assume 18 saves against what your spell save DC is.
Yeah.
Whatever Chatter was, it's definitely potent. It does some crazy things. But yeah, it's going to succeed on that. Anything else on your turn?
And I was just going to pretty much dash into the darkness. Well, I forgot. I did break the concentration.
Yeah, the concentration's gone on. Or you don't have to. You can have left it.
Oh yeah, I'll just keep it. I'll keep it up and just run into the darkness.
All right, yeah. You're probably like at the bottom of the tree now, since you were all the way up in the tree. So you have to like run down and then like run across to it a bit. But you're like halfway to the darkness, I'll say.
I'm on Molly, which she runs 40 feet. So.
Yeah, because remember you backed up, and then they also had to run forward to get to it in the first place. Regardless, like I'm saying, you're about halfway there.
All right.
That's going to bring us to Oldman. McWizardface.
These are
Do
my
you
name.
want to try to go fast again?
I do not know. I mean, I'm feeling fine, but you do whatever you want to do.
No,
I forgot to swing a second time last turn. I don't know, I forgot.
You couldn't.
No, I totally could. I was very angry. I still am. I'm pretty pissed.
Oh, well then. Would you be? How far did it move?
Not very far.
It's adjacent to me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, from the giant swirly of doom.
Oh, it's out of the things.
How far though?
About 20 feet.
Oh, well then, that's significant.
Yeah.
Well then, I guess I'm gonna drop that, and
Do it again.
well, it was working. No,
Oh,
I'm
hey.
going to go ahead and, oh well, that sucked.
Can you target the tidal wave such that it does not hit the other people?
I imagine so.
Does it have to? Well, my question is, does it have to or originate from you, or can it originate on a point? Because I always picture a tidal wave. When I picture it in my mind, I always picture the person like throwing it forward. Because in that case, it would also hit 2 of your allies there with the tidal wave.
It doesn't specify.
I will assume that it works then, for the sake of brevity. The Tremere is going to succeed on the dexterity saving throw. I assume it takes half damage?
Yes.
All right, yeah, it says it there. So it takes 7 points of damage. You see the huge tidal wave kind of come up from underneath it. You hear as it kind of rears back and the water rushes beneath. Anything else on your turn, Oldman?
Well, not really. Good luck, guys.
All right. Show us what you got, Loris.
All right, Loris will step forward and say, "These attacks are for the beautiful man, Freddie." And I will rush forward, prepare to meet your maker, and I will swing my great cleaver twice.
Oh, are you a?
I'm frenzy. Yeah, I don't know why I just keep forgetting that.
Nice. In that case, you are going to hit with both of those for 14 and 12, 34 points of damage.
No.
Wait, no.
No, 24.
Yeah.
26?
26. We got there in like a half an hour. All right.
Math.
Yeah. We did this. That's gonna be 26 points of damage. Would you care to describe your killing blow on the Trivera?
I just said that I rushed forward. This is for the beautiful man.
Yes. And for the beautiful man, with one giant swing, you see 4.5 of the heads of the Chimera taken down as you split it right down through the lion, and then the opposite way with the second swing, cutting off the remainder of the heads of the Chimera in one sweeping running motion, and with that, the body of it falls limp upon the ground.
Hey, we did it. He's dead. Good work.
Such a shame.
But I have so much more healing. I'm gonna
you
cast
boys-
Cure Wounds on myself,
We
and
were
then I'm
supposed
gonna.
to bring it back.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she said that we could exterminate it.
We also were told we were supposed to make sure no one could figure out that came back to her. There are very obvious trail to the forest. We'll have to cut down forest.
And over the next several days, Lors
I will do this.
cuts down the entirety of the forest next to East Town. Yeah, you guys succeed. You go and report back. You go and report back to Viva, and you let her know that you guys have taken down the Chimera. I assume you bring back some of the heads, a portion of the heads as evidence of your victory. And for the sake of time, you all gain, or I think most of you gain, 1 point of experience and 200 Bartholomew bucks. And congratulations on your victory this day.